But yeah, a lot of these people on social media, they just say utter nonsense to get followers.
That's a good observation. You were saying that people will retweet or repost like the cringe stuff because it's so bad. You're like, hey everyone, I want you to see how horrible this is so you know what you're up against. But I see it and it's like, I just feel like you're that guy talking to me when you repost him. So like I have to unfollow people when they repost trash content to make fun of it. I don't want that trash content in my life. I understand the mentality of like,
and then you're also like you're convincing yourself of like a caricature of the left that isn't true, and then you're not prepared. Like if you want to debate the left, you're not really prepared on what they actually believe. And then like also in like your everyday life, you might know like most of my friends and family members are like left wing, and so if I look at Harry Sisson and I'm like but then if I get in a real conversation with like my relatives, I'm gonna be like unprepared. I'm gonna be like, oh, they're actually a lot smarter, and like I should it would be obviously better if everyone.
Disagree. I certainly think Harry Sisson is a caricature of liberals who's like, it's shock content, but his understanding of reality is about on par with the average liberal voter. They could not point to Ukraine on a map. And there's varying degrees of this, but I got to tell you, man,
I agree with that.
The key moment, a good example is when we had Hunter Avallone on this show. And I said in one example that Joe Biden said, if you don't fire the prosecutor, not getting $1 billion. And he smugly said that never happened. And then I played the video and he was like, whoops. It's like, dude, I don't care for debate. Like in this idea that we're going to stand on the stage and hit a buzzer and be like, well, I have an argument and do different debate tactics. That's stupid. I care about, here are the things that I think. Here's why I think them. If you are wrong, I will say you're wrong. I'll pull something up. If it turns out I'm wrong, I'll say, I was wrong about that. Wow.
Right, I agree, but that is a debate. That's like the point of a debate.
But my point is, I have no concern or fear of debating a liberal on any of these issues at all. And I don't think I know everything about these issues. I, in fact, think I'm mostly wrong about them.
Because you're open to discovering the truth.
The deep state, the intelligence agencies are not giving us the true and correct information about what's going on. But what I can say is I've read substantially more about all of this than any of you. And I do believe if you took an SD card and neural linked it, all the basic news coverage of Ukraine and Joe Biden into the head of the average liberal, they'd vote Donald Trump instantly. It's just that they don't know, they don't want to know, they watch CNN, and that's about it. Or MSNBC. And they believe people like Rachel Maddow, who's nearly in tears when Donald Trump isn't indicted as a Russian spy.
They may not vote Trump, but they'll definitely not vote Biden.
They vote Trump.
I am kind of that guy. I don't immediately go to the opposite party.
Or about that.
Or RFK.
If you downloaded all of the information on the Biden family, Ukraine and the war, the Obama administration, just all the news articles.
Hillary, all her emails.
Into their brains. They would just be like, now I understand why everyone's voting Trump.
Yeah, full red pill.
Full red pill. But if you go to a Trump supporter and you were to download into their brains all of the news articles about Donald Trump, the thing is, most Trump supporters would be like, these are contradictions. This is the point. My favorite two stories from Politico. One, that the Democrats were, that Ukraine said that there were Democrats trying to interfere in the 2016 election or something to that effect. Then you have several years later, Politico reporting once again that in fact that was Russian disinformation, but never retracting or correcting their own reporting, saying otherwise. How can Politico run two stories, one making a claim and one saying that claim was Russian disinformation without correcting? Because it's garbage nonsense. Now, the fact that I know those two articles exist gives me some keen insight into what's really going on in the world, especially considering who the journalist was who wrote the second article. You put those articles into the minds of the average person, and they're going to be like, something's not right here. Trump supporters already know the news contradicts itself and lies all the time. Many of these liberals just believe Rachel Maddow, and they think Fox News is lying. Granted, not a big fan of Sean Hannity, but Tucker Carlson was pretty good. But they just read garbage from like the Daily Beast and then believe things that aren't true.
I remember when I got red pilled, it was the most depressing experience I've ever had in my life. It was like near suicidal, like the way I gave up on life when I was like, this really is all fake. Not all, but like this is whole American dream thing is like fed to me over on the backs of slaves, really.